Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Lick Branch Farms. In today's video, we are going to be starting seeds for jalapenos and also more tomato plants. We're going to be starting the heat set variety that we normally plant. And I'm going to get into the varieties that we chose and why we chose those varieties. And we're also going to talk about what we're going to put in this row where we pulled the cucumbers out here last week. We're going to talk about what we're going to put in there right after this. Welcome back, guys. So to get things started off, we're going to talk about this row here. And if you remember, we had cucumbers in here a week ago, and what we thought we had planted was Excelsior, which is parthenocarpic and genoecious, and it wound up being something totally different. I still firmly believe that it was the national pickling cucumber that I planted in there, because I did start those seeds and they're nowhere out here to be found. So we have since started a whole new tray of Excelsior, and I've singled these guys out and put them over here simply to make sure that I don't get them mixed up again, because I've got some Diva slicing cucumbers over here that I started about the same time, and these guys are rocking and rolling. Let's see what the date is on them. This here is Diva, and they were started up 5/10, and I think today is 5/19. So that's 9 days, and you can see these guys are jamming. And I thought I just caught a glimpse of a cucumber beetle right there. So yeah, he's no longer with us. So we got two different variety of cucumbers, and I still got some more slicing cucumbers to go in the big garden out here. But the Corinthos that we planted a couple weeks ago, you can see these guys are doing great. I got to get these guys trellised along with those Sun Gold cherry tomatoes. I got to get all this stuff trellised. I got cucumbers over here that need to be trellised. I got the poles on order for this high tone here to finish it up so I can put the trellising in. I've got my tomahawks, they come in. I've got my Hortonova trellis, it came in. So I've got everything I need to trellis everything. It's just I need to get these supports up so I can hang these tomahawks and go ahead and get strings dropped to these guys. And down here on this end where we have our field cucumbers, these guys here are Supremo, and if you look, all of them are blooming really good, and they really need to be trellised too. And that's what the Hortonova is going to be for. When I put the supports up, we'll pull Hortonova trellising on all of these and get these guys to where they can climb, because they are already putting on cucumbers, as you can tell. So yeah, we got a lot of plants left to put in the ground. We're just now getting our second round. I say second round. Our first round of zucchini went in the bottom, and it's really too wet to work down there right now. And I went ahead and run through this garden, this top side here, with the rototiller. Got rid of all these radishes, just went ahead and incorporated them. Had some cabbage left over, went ahead and incorporated that. And I pulled some weed mat. And what we have here is Paycheck green zucchini. It's on 20-inch spacing and a 60 plants in this 100-foot row. And we're also going to do the same thing here. Now what is left in that tray is actually Golden Glory yellow zucchini. And we started taking that to market last year, and it was a big hit. It was really people flocked to it whenever they would come to market, and we sold a lot of it. But what I have over here is Pantheon, which, if you know anything about zucchini, that's an Italian heirloom. It's a Costata romanesca is what it is. You ever seen the green ones with the light green stripes on them? That's what that is. So yeah, we got a lot going on out there. So this row over here where we pulled the cucumbers out is where we're going to put these guys. And what this is a Determinate tomato called Market Fresh Plus, I think. Yeah, Market Fresh Plus. And it is, known for being a Market Garden tomato. Yeah, Market Fresh Plus. And it's known for being a prolific determinate type tomato. So I had those guys already up potted and started, being they are determinants. That's what pushed me to put them in here, because, you know, let's face it, it's not going to be long. We're going to get hit with everybody wanting fresh tomatoes at market. And, you know, we do have tomatoes in there, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. But these guys here, that's what these are. These are Market Fresh tomatoes. And I've got 3 other varieties in here that I got seed in for the other day, and we're going to talk about those here in just a minute. So I want to give you a shot of these tomatoes that's in here. And here's a good one. You can see these guys here. They are just huge, big as my hand, and they're loaded. And if you remember correctly, these are the tomatoes that we planted on March the 1st. This was our first planting of tomatoes in this high tunnel this year, and they are absolutely loaded with tomatoes. So yeah, tomato season is upon us. I'm gonna put this camera up here. Y'all don't get seasick on me. I'm moving this thing around much. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the varieties, heat set varieties. And what I have here is a whole load of seeds I got in the other day. We're gonna talk about this because a lot of this stuff is gonna be for the fall garden, so we're not gonna get into a whole lot of depth of it. But yeah, Swiss chard, Swiss chard, Swiss chard. All right, first tomato, Red Deuce. I planted Red Deuce in here last year, and it absolutely did fantastic. We had tomatoes all the way up to December, and I think the thing that helped us out the most is that we put them in early fall and was able to get them established, get the blooms on them, get tomatoes on them, and that's what carried us through late October through December with tomatoes. Now I only did 2 rows, and it was enough to keep up with the markets that we were doing at the time, and we were selling tomatoes, like I said, all the way up to second week of December, and we probably could have sold even more if we'd had, you know, more in here, but I had peppers in here at the time too. So all right, so the second variety we're going to choose is Roadster. That is a well-known tomato for the southeastern region, and does really well around humidity and things of that nature. So, and right along with it is Red Snapper. Now both of those are, you know, highly regarded as very dependable determinate tomato varieties, and they have huge fruit concentrations on them. So you're going to get a lot of tomatoes at one time, and then you can pick on them, you know, for a few weeks. So the rest of this is stuff that we're going to plant in the fall. I got Marathon broccoli, Thunderhead cabbage, Imperial broccoli, Absolute cauliflower, and Pharaoh cabbage. So a lot of cabbage, a lot of Swiss chard, a lot of broccoli. Put these guys up. And the jalapeno variety that we're trying today is Everman, and I get these from Seedway. And it must be a pretty decent jalapeno, because every time I went to order this seed, it was on back order, and I got lucky and found it when it wasn't. So I went ahead and ordered 1,000 of them just so I could have enough. But just for the sake of this video, and today we're going to plant a 338 sale of these jalapenos, and we're going to plant a 242 sale of these Red Deuce tomatoes. And I have to be careful with what I start, because I've only got so much room in that germination chamber in there, and it's full right now. Matter of fact, I just took the okra out, and you guys seen that video where we started these okra seeds less than a week ago, and I want you to look at it now. These are the same okras that we started in that video. What's the day? 5 days ago we started these seeds, and you can see them. I told you, priming them seeds, man. I mean, that's the ticket. All right, so before we plant the seeds, we're gonna get these tomatoes in the ground. I turned the water on, so I got the emitters. I got water coming out of the emitter, so I know exactly where I'm gonna put these tomato plants. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go down through here, and I'm gonna drop these tomatoes right beside where I'm gonna plant each one. Now we're gonna follow the same planting scheme that we always use. We're going to plant right beside the emitter. We're gonna make a dibble, or we're gonna make a hole with my stick, and I don't know where my stick is. I think it's in my cup. And then we're going to take that tomato plant, and we're going to put it in there on top of some pre-plant fertilizer. And I'm telling you, I preach this every video that you see me plant tomatoes. Make sure you're using a pre-plant fertilizer, and not a real high dose, not a real strong dose of nitrogen, but just enough to kind of give it get it a kickstart. Go ahead and get it started, and then it'll take off from there. When you put these things in the ground, it's a good idea to go ahead and trim off the leaves that you don't need. Now, you see these little fuzzy things right here? We're gonna try to get that guy in the ground up to that, because those will root and just make a stronger plant. All right, so we got 3. I'm gonna get this camera set down, and we're gonna rock and roll on this. All right, guys, so there you have it. All those tomato plants are 2 foot apart, and you can see we spaced them so the emitters, they're right beside an emitter, so we don't have to worry about watering. All right, so with all those, and it took every one that I had except for one, and it was a small one anyway, so I'll put it up there, probably in that raised bed Betsy got up at the house. But now, let's set you guys over here. We're gonna get ready to start planting these red deuce, and I'm telling you, I planted this one last year. It's a real bushy plant, big plant, but it doesn't get real tall. It won't get as tall as those BHM 589. It'll probably get about 4 foot. But they put on loads and loads and loads of tomatoes. We had tomatoes coming off of these things up until frost, and that's actually what killed them. I didn't put the heater in here and set the temperature on it quick enough, and it actually killed the tops of the plants. It got so cold that it killed the tops out of them. And I mean, we finished harvesting the tomatoes off of them, but I mean, that's really what took them out. Get you guys down here so you can see what I'm doing. And this is pretty much it. Just going through and dip on these things like so. These seeds are not real big. I mean, they're not like heirloom seeds, if you can see that. They're kind of tiny. So we're going to go through, and this is the part that takes the most time, one at a time, and put them in there. And like I said, I got these seeds from Harris, but you can get red deuce. You know, I've never seen them at Johnny's. I don't know if they plan to carry them later on, but I always get mine from Harris or Seedway. Seedway without of them, so I had to get them from Harris. So we're gonna go through and put one seed in each cell, and we're using the 242, so we won't have to up pot these. We can grow these out in this tray to save us one little process. All right, guys, so that's 242 red deuce tomatoes seed started. And what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna put a little bit of soil on top of it, and we're gonna top it off, kind of level everything out a little bit, and then we're gonna set this tray out to get it watered in, and then we're gonna start that tray of jalapenos and get those guys in the trays and get them on a heat mat. And if you've never tried growing red deuce, I mean, it is a hybrid, and you hear a lot of people growing them in tunnels, and like I said, it's a fantastic tomato. It's a good eating tomato. If you go look at the trailer at the beginning of our videos, the one that I put in there, the tomatoes you see on that table, those are red deuce tomatoes. All right, guys, so for the jalapenos, we're gonna do them in a 338 cell. That's 338 seeds will go in this tray. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna top it off with soil, then we're gonna dimple everything, and then we're gonna put the seeds in each dimple. All right, guys, so we're gonna get these jalapenos, and all I did was the same as just like tomatoes. I went through and dimpled each one of them. Well, this is gonna be easy to see. Lime green, and that's a treated seed. That's how you know they come in different colors. But yeah, just like tomatoes, we're gonna do one at a time, and we're gonna get all 338 of these seeds in these trays and get them watered in. It'll take but a few minutes, but I'm not gonna make y'all go through the whole process with me. I'll just show you the end results as soon as I get done with this. All right, guys, so that's it. 338 jalapeno seeds. Everyman jalapeno seeds. So same thing, just like tomatoes. We're gonna top these guys off, curl them up just a little bit. And then we're gonna soak them all in. All right, guys, so got them tomatoes, the red deuce tomatoes and the jalapenos watered in. I got them on the germination mat. Tomatoes are gonna take about a week, 5 days to a week. The peppers may take it a little bit longer. But within 2 weeks, they should be up, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. So guys, that's where I'm gonna call a wrap for this video. But if you missed the video when we planted our first planting of Determinate tomatoes in this high tunnel, I'm gonna put a link to it up here. And if you found anything interesting, anything entertaining, or just want to know more about our farm, click the subscribe button over here. But guys, you don't want to miss next week's video, because we're going to be back out here in this high tunnel. We're going to be doing our trellising, getting all these guys, these cucumbers and these sun gold cherry tomatoes, and I'm probably going to have these other 2 rows planted by then. But we're going to get these guys trellised. We're going to be putting our supports up, and we're going to be putting our door supports in for this new tunnel. So you don't want to miss that one. As always, guys, we appreciate you stopping by. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.